Celebration! It is time to celebrate. Yankees have finally eliminated the Red Sox from the playoffs in the wild card round. First team to lose the first game in the playoff round of the wild card round and win the next two to win the series. And didn't realize this, but it's been since 2003 was the last time the Yankees eliminated the Red Sox from the playoffs. There's only been, I think there was maybe three more times since then that the Red Sox eliminated the Yankees, maybe four with a one game. One of them was a 1-game wild card playoff in Boston. And of course, we all know what happened in 2004, and there was a couple other times, at least one other time. So it's been a long time. It's been a long time coming, and I wasn't overly confident. I didn't want to be overly confident. It always seems when I am overly confident with any of my teams, they always lose. So it was nice to get the win, obviously. And I kind of thought the Yankees were the better team, but I wasn't, I wasn't going to say anything. I'm not sure. Same thing with the upcoming series. I'm not going to be overly confident or anything. Toronto kicked our butts all season long, as did Boston. So we got one monkey off our back. Real quick, just to mention here, I'm going to get into what Cam Schlittler did in this game, but he was excellent. And just looking ahead, we got a lot of season still to go here, or the playoffs still to go. And, hopefully all the way to the World Series, we'll see. But next year, when Garrett Cole comes back, we're going to have Cole, Fried, Rodon, and Schlittler as our top four, and then probably Luis Heel, or we can go Will Warren, or we can go Clark Schmidt when he comes back. Wow, that's a starting rotation, isn't it? My goodness. So, that's awesome, but we got to address what's going on now. So the Yankees, like I said, win the final two games, and Game 2, that was an interesting game. That was definitely a strange game. I want to call up the box score here. The 4-3 victory. They held on. Of course, they were facing elimination, so that was tough. But they fought through it, and they got through it. And Ben Rice was the hitting star in Game 2 with the home run. He really came through. He was 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. Austin Wells got a huge hit in that game, and it scored Jazz from first base on a single because it kicked off the side rails there, the very thin out of bounds area that the stands kind of jets out on right into the almost right up until the field of play, and it kicked off of that, and the right fielder had to run up and get it. During that whole time, Jazz was running on the pitch, which is why he was able to come all the way around and score on a headfirst slide and just get in there, and that was like the play of the day, play of the series, really. And just real exciting stuff, really good stuff. And then I think Boston realized that Game 2 was their time. They realized they were going to be behind the 8 ball in Game 3 with the rookie going. His last name is Early. And he didn't pitch all that bad. He really didn't. But he didn't have quite the experience that Cam Schlittler had. And even though Cam Schlittler is also a rookie, he's had a few starts up here. And for the most part, has been pretty good. Yankees probably had a little bit more confidence in him than the Red Sox had in Early. So I think that's why in Game 2, the Red Sox pulled their starter, Brian Bayo, after just 2 1/3 innings. After he gave up 2 runs, they pulled him kind of early, kind of quick. And then Whitlock came on eventually after Wilson and Slayton and Matz. And the fact that Whitlock threw like 50 pitches in relief made it very, very difficult for them to be able to use him in Game 3. So again, I think they were really going for it in Game 2 because they knew they were going to be behind the 8 ball in Game 3, and that's exactly how it played out. Game 3 comes along, no Whitlock now, no starter to go to other than this rookie, and none of that really mattered, though, did it? Because Cam Schlittler, I'll say it again, Cam Schlittler, it's his world. We'll see what he does as the playoffs roll on, and he's definitely going to get one more start, that's for sure. Did something no Yankee pitcher had ever done in their debut. Did something no pitcher in Major League history had ever done in their debut. 8 postseason debut. 8 innings, no runs, no walks, 12 strikeouts, throwing 100 in the 8th inning. Still, threw 100 miles an hour in the first inning, threw 100 miles an hour in the 8th inning. Or maybe the 7th. Actually, in the 8th, I think he was about 97, 98. But in the 7th, for sure, I know for sure he touched 100 in the 7th. Just, wow. 24 years old, playing in Yankee Stadium in an elimination game, and rather than folding under the pressure, he rose. It looks like he's got a slow heartbeat. It looks like he's well in control. And, maybe a star was born. We'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. We'll see where he goes from here with his next start. Throughout the year, when he has started, I'm not sure how many starts he had, but there was maybe one, I think it was actually against Boston, where he didn't look all that great, where he kind of got knocked around. But other than that, he's been solid pretty much all year and definitely had some really impressive performances. No runs, 5 innings, something like that, 7 or 8 strikeouts, more than a strikeout an inning for sure. It was going like 5 or 6 innings and giving up a 1 run or maybe, or no runs or maybe 2 runs, but very solid all year. While he was up there, I keep saying all year, but he wasn't there all year. Maybe he got 10 starts, 10 starts, something like that, maybe 8 in that range. But regardless, he was solid enough that they had enough confidence in him that they gave him this start in Game 3 facing elimination, season on the line, and he rose to the occasion. So now it's on to Toronto for the Yankees, and we'll see what this brings. It's a 5-game series. First game is on Saturday. I'm recording this on Friday, and the game clincher against Boston was on Thursday night. And just a great, great series. And like I said, just great to eliminate the Red Sox. Anytime we can beat the Red Sox, I'm a happy guy. For all the people who want to put the Mets against the Yankees and the Soto stuff and the city or other teams, the Dodgers, because they eliminated them, this and that, it's always the Red Sox. They have and always will be the enemy. They are the ones that really help the Yankees along in terms of baseball in general, helps baseball along. These two teams, when these two teams play, it's usually a great, great series. Usually, it's like a blood and guts kind of a series, especially in the playoffs. And this one kind of was too. The only thing that was a problem was the fact that the Red Sox had some trouble fielding, which you would think coming in that would be the Yankees' problem with all the problems they've had fielding this year and throwing. But they had some problems with errors and stuff. Dropping a ball, the Judge fly ball that was dropped by Duran when he dove. Also, props to McMahon. My goodness. At third base last night, there's a pop-up, and he runs over to catch it, and as he does, he flips over the guardrail, completely ass over tea kettle, and goes completely over the guardrail. Was able to get his hands down, apparently, and not hurt his neck, but literally flipped completely over into the Red Sox dugout. And you just don't see that. And that's a play that'll live on. If this is a magical season, you're going to see that Jazz run where he scored from first a bunch of times. You're going to see that Ryan McMahon play a bunch of times as well. And then, of course, you're going to hear about Cam Schlittler. And I've been watching the Yankees since the 80s. In terms of postseason performances, that's probably the most dominant postseason performance I've ever seen by any pitcher ever. You got Roger Clemens, who had a really, really good one, but this was facing elimination. Clemens wasn't facing elimination. The Pettit game against the Braves, where they won 1-0, wasn't facing elimination. There was a tomorrow. El Duque had a really important game as well, but again, they weren't facing elimination. This was an elimination game. 8 innings, 12 strikeouts, no runs, no walks. It doesn't really get much more than that. And to be honest, I kind of was trying to be a little greedy at that point. They were up 4-0. And I wanted the kid to maybe get the complete game. He was at 107 pitches. I know you don't want to push him too much. Plus, you're going to have to use him again, assuming they were going to move on, and they did. So I understand it, but it would have been nice if he would have got the complete game. It would have been even better. But, that was just me being greedy. Regardless, I am really, really happy about this series. I could not have asked for anything better, anything more from them. Absolutely perfect. And don't forget, too, we got Toronto coming up now, a whole nother series. I'll try to get as many videos or many podcasts out as I can during this series. Let's see what happens. We got our butts kicked by Boston all year. Took them out. And we got our butts kicked by Toronto all year. Let's see if we can take them out too and go to the ALCS. That would be wonderful. We'll see what's going on with this team. I hope, again, I don't want to jinx them, and I always say when I'm confident or talk any crap about my teams in any way, it ends up backfiring. I'm not talking crap. I'm not being, too confident. All I'm saying is I just feel better about this team than I have in the last few years. Even when they went to the World Series last year, they were severely flawed and were playing people that had no business being out there. And I just don't feel that way now. That's the only difference. But to be honest, in years past, I've had a lot more confidence in their bullpen than I do now, and that's going to be a problem. The Yankees bullpen, if they lose to Toronto, I will bet it's going to be the bullpen. That's what's going to happen. The bullpen's going to blow some games, kind of like Game 1 of this series, where Luke Weaver just didn't have it, came in, and it just completely blew up in his face, and the Yankees couldn't recover. The Yankees have got to hit better than they have hit in this series, for sure. They need more runs. That's just all there is to it. They need more runs, and they need the bullpen to get fortified and be a little stronger. But like I said, I was not going to complain about it because I'm really excited and really happy about this one. And on to Toronto. Like I said, I will try to get as many podcasts as I can out during this series. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, I will see you later.